Alright, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kohallah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers that's pushing the word in truth and sincerity. Alright, here's another video. I think I'm gonna title it, let me see. Well, I wanted to speak about the politicians, alright? We're not just talking about American politicians. We're just talking about the leaders of state in general, from from the head, the top elite, all right, on down to the presidents and the heads of state, the foreign ministers, all right, and their minions that carry out the orders, all right, taken from the top elites, all right. They're making all the right decisions, all right, to lead this world, all right, into the third world's war. All right, to fulfill prophecy. You know, brothers, keep in mind that everything that's taking place in the world is supposed to happen. All right, it was written aforetime. All right, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is the ultimate. He's the power, man. He has no Yahweh. The Most High has no beginning and no end to him. All right, and he declares things and they come to pass. And that's just the power that we're dealing with. That's the God of Israel, okay? As a matter of fact, let me go to that scripture real quick. In Isaiah or Yeshaya. This is Isaiah 46, and I'm gonna start at 9. It says, remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, I am the power, and there is none else. I am the power, and there is none else like me. So there's no other power like the Heavenly Father. All of these gods of these other nations, all right, the gods of the so-called white man, the Esau, all right, they're nothing but idols, all right. And the so-called white man, he has no gods. He just stole the gods from these other nations, all right. And it says, remember the former things of old, for I am the power, and there is none else. I am the power, and there is none else like me. So there's none else like Yahweh, man. And he sent his son Yahweh Shai to carry out the commandments, to fulfill the words of the Lord. When Yahweh Shai comes back, he's coming back to reclaim the earth. All right, he's coming back to rule the earth. He's the heir that is going to rule the earth. He's going to rule the world to come. Okay, and that's just the way it's going to be, man. All right, and it says, verse 10, it says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done. And then we're going to go into the ancient times, what Yahweh Shai, what the Most High declared, all right, through Yahweh Shai, through the prophets, what would come, all right? And that's what it's all about, man. That's why I said in the beginning of this video, everything that's happening is supposed to happen. All right, everything that you see on television is supposed to happen to build up to a climactic ending of the so-called white man's society, his kingdom. We're in that time. You got to keep in mind that the prophets and the ancients, as a matter of fact, let's go to it. It's in Peter's. The prophets and the ancients always inquired about the times that we were living in, man. That we're living in now, man, and we're finally here. All right, we're at the precipice, or we're at the doorstep. We're at the doorstep of this thing. All right, so I'm in 1 Peter's 1, and I'm gonna start at 8. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at let me see, verse 6. It says, 1 Peter's 1 and 6. It says, wherein ye greatly rejoice through now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations, and that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with being in this flesh. You know, since we woke up, you know, men of the Lord, men of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, remember Yahweh Shai said, if ye stay in my word, I'm just roughly paraphrasing, if ye stay in my word, ye are indeed my disciple. All right, so when you found out about this word and you found out about the curses, that's a heavy weight, that's a heavy burden that was put upon you, and now every day you see it because your eyes are open. You've been enlightened with the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, and now in this time you deal with heaviness. All right, and you see brothers making videos All right, brothers bringing out articles of the wickedness, homosexuality, pedophilia. All right, the women aren't in order. All right, the women are nothing but whores. All right, in the society, but the world to come, these things are going to be a thing of the past, man. All right, the Esau, the so-called white man, destroying our people, whether it be in the police, law enforcement, the education system, the medical system. All right, on the job. All right. Or basically your living arrangements. You see this thing, you know. So it's vexing, but that's part of what the scriptures is saying. It says, wherein ye greatly rejoice. Why do we greatly rejoice? Because we have the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, that's why we can understand that these politicians are supposed to make these decisions to lead to the war of Armageddon. All right, we understand that, it has to get way worse than it is already now, and we have to go through more wickedness because the scriptures say that the sins are going to reach unto heaven. All right, and at a point in time, the Lord is just going to cut this short. You got to keep in mind, in 60 minutes, America's going to be destroyed, man. 60 minutes, like the show, 60 minutes. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua and the angels, the Most High is going to send Yahweh Shai and the angels, all right? And when you best believe me, when Yahweh Shai get that command, man, with the quickness, he's gonna come with the angels, and they're gonna fuck up shit, and they're not gonna have any mercy. All right, and that's why we greatly rejoice, because we have this word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and then we edify. All right, we make videos and we build up the brethren, we build up the brotherhood. All right, because our suffering is only going to be for a small season. All right, it says, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, because this is the trial of our faith. All right, we say we believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, we say that we believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, but it's going to be a trial of our faith and our beliefs. It has to be. This is how the Lord gets down. Scriptures say, for gold is tried in the furnace, for gold is tried in the fire. All right, all the prophets before have been tried, man. All right, they've been tried and they've been acceptable, and they had a place in the scriptures that we can learn from. Why? Because they went through a trial. All right, to try. They was in temptation. They was tried out. All right, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than gold, that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh Shai. So if we believe in Yahweh Shai, all right, in our trial, and we be tried through the faith of Yahweh Shai, right? When the Lord Yahweh Shai appears, we're going to receive praise and honor and glory. All right, when Yahweh Shai appears, man, and it's going to be beautiful, man. It's going to be beautiful. It says, whom having not seen ye loved. All right, in this flesh, I haven't seen Yahweh Shai. The brothers haven't seen Yahweh Shai. We see him in the spirit. All right, when we're reading the scriptures, that's him. The scriptures is of him, is of Yahweh Shai. All right? That's why we know that these things must come. That's why these politicians have to do what they have to do. They have to demonize us. All right? They have to demonize us. They have to go to pass legislation to try to get us out the street from teaching this word. And they have to circumvent. They have to circumvent their own system, man, to do it. All right? And we know this. They have to demonize us. That has to come, because that's a part of the trial of our faith. It says verse 8, it says, whom having not seen ye love, in whom though now ye see him not, yet believing, ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, which the end of our faith is Yahweh Shai. Because why? When Yahweh Shai comes, we're going to be with Yahweh Shai. All right? So therefore, we're going to see him with our own eyes, face to face, man. All right, the greatest moment, one of the greatest moments that a man can receive, and only a select number of men is going to receive this, is the crowning of that Yahweh Shai is going to put on the men that love him, that believe him, man. All right, and believing on him without seeing him, and therefore speaking of him, or the highways and hedges. All right. It says, whom having not seen ye love, this is verse 8, in whom though now ye see him not, yet believing ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls. All right, and that's what we're looking for, the salvation of our souls. All right, and rest. All right. Verse 10, it says, of what salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you. All right, so that's why we believe, because, you know, the prophets, they were looking for what they were speaking about, which we had the understanding of what the prophets were speaking about 2,000, 3,000 years ago, man. All right, we have the promise, the hope of the promise of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, what they spoke about, what Jacob told his 12 sons in Genesis, the 49th chapter. All right, we have hope of the blessings that Moses told the children of Israel in the wilderness. All right, not to mention the curses, because we've dealt with the curses. We're dealing with the curses now. All right, so that we have hope that if the Lord brought these curses on us and we're at the bottom, hey, why not the Lord bring forth blessings upon the men that have humbled themselves and did the work, all right, that Yahweh Shai and the prophets set up thousands of years ago, man. All right, but that's enough with that. I'm gonna go real quick. Let me see something real quick. Let me go back to let me go back to Isaiah, Yeshaya 46 and 10. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done. All right, so the things that are not yet done, one of those things is the kingdom of heaven. All right, the return of Yahweh Shai. That was declared thousands of years ago, man. All right, and through the eyes of John the Revelator, it's already happened before. I mean, it's already happened. We're just letting them play out in these times, and we're closer and closer to that thing taking place. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying my counsel. All right, so the Lord's counsel, and let's get that word, Lord's counsel, because when you look at the word, matter of fact, I'll get it. But let me go to this real quick. Let's go to back in Isaiah 46 and 10 and look up that word for counsel. All right, it says, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. One of the Lord's pleasures is to take down the so-called white man, the Edomites, man. That's one of the Lord's pleasure. The Lord said, I have long time withholding my peace. All right, my counsel. All right, you gotta bear with me for a second. Let me see the word for counsel. That word right there is, let me see. I got an I to za. Yeah, I to za. I to za. I to za. A I to za with a ha at the end. It said counsel. It says counsel, advice, purpose, which anyone gives or receives counsel. It says advice, by implication, plan. All right, this is going into the plan, my counsel. All right, so one of the Lord's counsel, part of the Lord's counsel, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai's counsel, is to bring forth the Third World War. So all of these decisions that the politicians are making is going to be the lead up to the Third World War, and soldiers have to be sent forth over there to the Middle East. American soldiers, Russian soldiers, Iranians. You know, all of these nations are going to send forth their armies. All right. As a matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 34 and Isaiah 34 and 1. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna start at 1. I mean, this is one of my favorite scriptures to bring out, because according to this scripture, according to the Lord already destroyed them armies, man. You building up armies and you spending all of this fiat currency and putting into your military, your armies is already destroyed, man. They're already destroyed. I mean, those men that you send over there to fight in these wars, whether it be any military in the earth, they're sent over there for their own destruction. All right, your joint chiefs of staff are going to be basically sending men to their deaths, man. Making decisions to send men to their deaths. All right, Yeshaya verse 34, Isaiah. You can read that. It says 34:1. It says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. So the word indignation means righteous anger. So the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, even 2/3 of the nation of Israel, which is a nation within themselves. The indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, all right? And his fury upon all their armies. All right, so the Lord's fury is upon all their armies, all the nations, upon all the nations and all of their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. So the decision that these politicians make, because in order to declare war, you have to go to the Senate and to Congress. You know, in these times now, the so-called president can have a what is it called, a kinetic military action. All right, you've seen Obama do that in Libya. All right, you've seen Trump do that in Syria. All right, with the bombing of Syria. All right, but it says for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. So it's going to be a slaughter fest over there in the Middle East. And these politicians are going to, you know, make the right decisions to make that happen. All right, so let me go to the book of Proverbs 20, 24, and I'm going to go to Proverbs 21. All right, so Proverbs 20 and 24 says, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man understand his way? Because and that scripture proves that there's no such thing as your own free will. All right, because guess what? Your politicians are going to make their own free will, if you want to go with that, is going to make them send men to the Middle East, man, for their own destruction, to fulfill the prophecy that I just read in the book of Isaiah 34th chapter. All right? That's why the Lord is the power that can declare things from the beginning and the beginning and the end, because he puts it in the minds of men to do his will, man. All right. Let me close this out real quick. What is this? Close that out real quick. Close that out real quick. All right, back in the book of Proverbs 21. Now let me read Proverbs 21. Proverbs 21 and 1, it says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. Now you know how the waters in the river go back and forth, and you know they're taking wherever, so they're taking. That's the mind of the king's heart in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord has the power to rock it to and fro. You know, one day Trump might be cool with Russia, the next day Russia is the enemy. All right, or even Vladimir Putin. The Most High had power over his mind. All right, and that's how the Lord gets down. That's how the God of Israel, the God of Yahweh, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that's how your power gets down. He has the power over kings, all right, to destroy them. Take a look at this. This is the book of Revelation 17, and I'm going to start at 16. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast. All right, now we know that the beast represents NATO, the EU, those conglomerate of countries. All right, let me see something real quick. Conglomerate. All right. The word of the conglomerate, com means with or together. Glomerare, and that's part of glomerare, to gather into a ball, collect. All right, so that's a collection of nations, a conglomerate. It says Latin conglomeratus, past participle of conglomerare, to roll together. So all of those nations are together. That's what I basically was saying, the conglomerate of nations. These nations are together, the EU. In the EU and NATO, you have Italy, you have Spain, you have Portugal, you have multiple countries that have came together by the will of the Heavenly Father, I must add, because when you read this, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her with fire and burn her with fire. For Yahweh